Things you want to avoid when you're going live on social media. I know that I have made many mistakes in my when I first got started and was going live on social media. So tonight I wanted to talk about, in this video, I wanted to talk about the things to avoid when you're going live on social media and what you want to do instead. Okay. If you are joining me live, please say hello, tell me where you're coming in from, and join me in this conversation. If you're watching the replay, please let me know what was valuable to you, and we'll have a conversation at that point then. But so let's talk about things to avoid. I have seen this in many videos as I watch videos in them and have been learning over the last couple of years. People make these mistakes all the time. And so I did some research and got these things put together. So let's just go through and talk about the things that are really can really affect the effectiveness of your video if you make these mistakes. So maybe it's something you want to avoid, and maybe it doesn't matter for your audience. It can be a testing thing too. But I found that for my audience, it's best if I don't do these things. So I do have some notes. I'm going to be looking down at my notes once in a while, but for the most part, I want to be looking at you on the camera. So let's just get into these things that you might want to avoid. Your attitude, your expression, your energy, your smile. Are you smiling on camera as you should be? Those things are all really important. It's going to give people a better chance of actually watching you if you have good energy. If you're sitting back with a monotone voice, there's not much expression, there's not much up and down in your voice, I can't watch videos like that. I have a hard time. I mean, I really have to want to know how to do something if I'm going to watch a video like that, okay? The other thing is make sure you look at the camera. I mean, I'm down here on the screen is where I'm at, where I can see myself. But up here is where the camera is. That's where we should be looking at all times, or at least if you're not looking at your notes or needing to look at your notes. You should be looking at the camera. And then you want to make sure you have good lighting and good sound. A good microphone is very important. And sometimes you might have headsets where you have a good microphone that way. I have a microphone here on my desk. So it's just really important to have good lighting. And if you don't have a ring light or good lighting in your room, maybe you want to invest in, maybe you want to be outside and do it in the natural light. Natural light is always best. But, since I'm not outside, I use ring lights or whatever lighting you can get. But it might be worth it for you. And then the position of the camera. Make sure that the position of the camera is good. Make sure you're not off to one side or, up or down. However, plain and simple, make sure you're center to the camera, okay? And as I'm looking at myself on the screen, you can see I'm not looking at the camera, okay? Just pointing that out. Okay, so descriptions of your videos. It's important to put in descriptions on your videos, even if you're going live, because I have noticed lately, even though social media is not an SEO or a search engine, but on the search engines, when I search for something, I have seen Facebook Lives come up as one of the top searches in whatever term I was searching. So putting in a description, putting in some hashtags or whatever it works for you on that is really a good idea because it does work. I have noticed that a lot lately. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the length of time for your live. We're really going towards Really short videos. I mean, if you look at some of the social media channels, they're really pushing with the really short videos. But if you're teaching on something and you're doing an educational or an inspirational live, you want to make sure you do at least 10 minutes, but no more than 20 minutes. I mean, 20 minutes is probably too long. It's too long for me to be watching a video. I have to really be, it's almost like a movie for me to be watching 20 minutes. Obviously, a movie is longer than that, but it has to be longer. Hey, Paula, thanks for joining me. I sure do appreciate the comment. And I'm not sure what you're commenting on as far as, yeah, never again. But anyway, thanks for joining me. And then, delivery matters. How you deliver your message matters. You're going to share what you know, you're going to suggest, you're going to recommend, but don't tell people what to do. It's about sharing and recommending and suggesting. It is not about black and white. This is the way it is or not at all. That's not, I never, ever come on live and say, you have to do this or you have to do that. No, it is, you might want to think about this. You might want to think about that. It's just to educate people about these different things that my audience is looking for. So remember that as you go to do your live. And then always ask, you know what, let me just do this. If that makes sense to you, drop me a number 1 in the comments, okay? The next thing is engagement. Ask for engagement. What did I just do? I asked for engagement. Don't always get it, that's okay, but always ask for engagement. Drop me a number 1 if this makes sense, or if you whatever the thing that you're talking about, figure out a way to put in a way to ask for engagement throughout your life. And then let's see. Don't read word for word. Yeah, you can have, I would say don't have a script. Have some notes. That's okay to have some notes, but don't read a word for word script because it's not going to come out naturally. It's not going to sound like you're naturally talking. And it's just too hard to be able to read a script and make it sound naturally. So have some notes, but just be yourself. Just be yourself. I mean, it's the uniqueness of you that causes people to come and want to watch you or to watch your lives. That's really what it's all about. Let's see, what's my next one? Okay, so have a structure for your live. And I have a very specific structure that I go through when I do my live. And if you want that structure, drop me a comment drop me a message in Messenger and I will get it to you. But there is a specific structure. I mean, I have do this, do this, do this, do this. I have a specific structure I follow every time. And it has been very, very effective for me. So again, if you would like that structure, drop me a message in Messenger and I will get that to you. All right. Do not acknowledge viewers unless they comment. Sometimes on a social media channel, you will see who has joined your live. But I never, ever acknowledge them unless they have commented and want to be seen. You don't want to call out people that don't really want to be seen, or you don't want to start asking questions of people that when they really just wanted to watch in quiet and didn't want to be acknowledged. So never ever do that. Let's see. Oh yes, make sure, really, I would suggest that you introduce yourself. Always introduce yourself. You don't want to assume that the viewer knows who's talking, because for me, I have my lives to the public. So that means anybody can watch them, and doesn't necessarily mean that they know who I am, that they have been following me at all. I get a lot of new followers, from having my Facebook lives or my lives on public, and people, new people come to follow my page, follow me from those videos, so, or from those lives. So never assume that they know who's talking. So always introduce yourself. And when you start your live, don't say, well, I'm just going to wait here for a bit and until people hop on. You don't want to do that. Because the next person isn't going to want to wait. They might just move on to the next person that has information about what you were talking about. So always go through your structure, do the things, and assume that people are going to watch your replay, the replay of your video, of your live. It's not. Well, anyway, all I can say is if I go out to watch a video or I watch a replay of a live and they've just been sitting there waiting for other people to come on, I'll just move on to the next one. I don't have time for that. So has worked for me. That has worked for me, absolutely. And then, of course, being regular and consistent. I cannot say this enough. And my business did not change much until I decided consistency was worth my time. So being consistent, if you go live 3 times a week, then you want to make sure you consistently show up 3 times a week. That makes a big difference. All right. And the final thing that I wanted to touch on was call to action. Always have a call to action. People need to know what to do next. People want to know where to go next to get more information. So my call to action for tonight is follow me in my group, Video Marketing Strategies for Social Media. That is my group. Follow my group. And there's tons more strategies and tips on video marketing. So there you have it. The top things you don't want to do when you're going live on social media. And that's all for tonight. I will see you all on the next video.